Never thought I'd be here, never thought this is where life would take me. How strange and how random, but yeah, lucky. It was all boys. Mum didn't have any girls and she never let us cook. She's like, you'll burn the house down, you know, you're not cooking. And then I went to university and I had to fend for myself. I was like, right, I'm gonna have to cook here, I'm gonna have to strip my own bed because my mum used to do it for me. Sometimes we film a recipe and it might be the second time that we've cooked it and I'm like, I'm not happy with how that looks, we'll just shoot it again.
Or taste,
yeah.
obviously, like
your mac and cheese, yeah.
You're going to bring it up. This is like, am I getting some roasting here?
I trained for 3 months living on a farm. So.
Tell us about that farm. I'm obsessed with that place.
Family.
Oh my God, I love it. They'll teach me how to do mac and cheese the right way.
Kat Daly and Alison Hammond and Dermot O'Leary, like they're all so lovely, and they've all been so supportive of me because coming from Northern Ireland as a home cook and going on national television, like, you know, they've really looked after me. A wee bit of sriracha and lime seasoning for my new spice range that's coming into shops.
Sorry, what?
I have a wee air fryer spice range hitting into the shop, so
No,
sriracha and lime's very nice.
Don't just skate over that like as if that's not big news. What do you mean? Welcome to the Dig podcast. I am your host, Caroline O'Neill. And before we go to our unbelievable guest today, I say that every week, but this man is unbelievable. I want to ask you a wee favour. If you want to be notified each week about the podcast and you're watching on YouTube, you have to hit that subscribe button because then you're not going to see everybody and you might miss someone and you don't want that. So that's a little ask of me to you today. Also on Apple and Spotify, if you hit that follow button, you'll also get notified and then we can keep bringing great guests to you each week. And what a guest. Buckle up. You know him. I know you do. Today I am joined by Nathan Anthony. You might know him as Bored of Lunch. Are you bored of lunch? You won't be if you know this man. On social media, Bored of Lunch. I'm looking down at my notes because I don't want to get all the stats wrong. He has over 5 million followers. And keep me right here because it's probably up 1 million from the time I wrote these notes across digital platforms with recipes racking up over 1 billion views. How do you do that? Nathan is also a New York Times and Sunday Times best-selling author with 5 cookbooks and counting. They're right beside us. We're going to show you them in a minute. He appears regularly on This Morning and is a big hit with the presenters there like Ben Shepherd and Kat Daly and all the people that we know and love. And they love him too, rightly so. Who's the man behind the accounts and how has his life changed since he got bored of lunch during lockdown? He's here. Welcome, Nathan. Was that all right? Did I get that right?
That's quite the intro, like, yeah, that's one of the best intros I've ever had. Yeah.
I did ask chat to help me get all the stats right, but then your lovely team kept me right. No, actually, there's another cookbook on that on top of it.
Yeah.
What a journey. I know that you're no stranger to the Dig podcast. You were so kind and joined us at a live event in the Galgorm a few years ago.
3 years ago, yeah.
3 years, and there wasn't even a book in sight at that time.
Mad. That's we're on our 6th book now. I'm counting. I think when I was on your podcast, I'd said to you, there might be a cookbook coming, and now fast forward now, and look, there's a bit of a stack.
Yeah, for those
it's a bit mad though.
For those who are running and listening to this on Apple or Spotify, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 books sitting in front of us. Like,
it's mad.
And each one of them, I suppose, we can talk about them, and this is the new one, isn't it? Here,
that's coming out. October.
Oh, it's not even out.
It's not. That's the only copy I have. It's like an advanced copy.
He's not getting it back. He's not getting it back.
It's the only one I have.
Healthy Takeaway, as it's called.
So I wanted to write a book that would be very, you know, something different that would kind of appeal to people that, you know, are into their health or into their fitness. They want to save money as well and kind of take all of your traditional takeaways and restaurant food, make it more accessible, cheaper. And in an air fryer or a slow cooker or an air fryer, as we say here.
An air fryer too. So, you know, me and you live quite close together, so we've got the same old accent. Nathan, all of this, I know at the Dig podcast live in the Galgorm, we're very much talking about business and strategy and Instagram, and we will touch on that today too because there's a varied audience on the Dig podcast. But what about, who are you? I'm like, who is this? Man, people think you live in London. They think you're like this big name that's untouchable, but actually you're just like the rest of us. Tell us about the crack, like where you come from and all of that. And
still live here. People think I live in London, but like I spend a lot of time in London, but I just love Northern Ireland. I just love living here. Family's here, friends here, life's here. But yeah, I'm originally from Portdown. Yeah, not too far from down the road from you. Grew up there, went to university, studied something very different to what I'm doing now. I never worked with food. Didn't really have a massive interest in food until I went to university. Grew up in a house, it was all boys. Mum didn't have any girls and she never let us cook. She's like, you'll burn the house down, you know, you're not cooking. Done all the cleaning, and then I went to university and I had to fend for myself. I was like, right, I'm going to have to cook here. I'm going to have to strip my own bed because my mum used to do it for me. And there was 6 of us in the house. There's 3 boys, 3 girls. And for the first couple of months that I was there, the girls were like making stripping my bed for me and all. And they're like, you've been babied all your life now. You need to start looking after yourself. But yeah, started cooking at university, and that's kind of how it stuck. And life's completely changed. Like, I'm very, very lucky that this has all happened to me. I count my blessings that my life has changed so much. But yeah, I always say what's for you won't pass you, and it was just meant to happen.
And yes, you're very lucky and there's luck, but there's also hard work, and you were determined then once you seen that people loved this, you really put a lot of effort into making sure people who were watching were getting what they needed. And,
Yeah.
so there's luck, but there's also hard work there. And you definitely have been working hard since it was COVID times that really it started to take off on social media, wasn't it?
It was originally called Board of Lunch Belfast.
That's right.
And it started to grow at a rate where I kind of picked up people that were following. I was like, these people are from Glasgow and they're not from Belfast. This is really kind of random. It's taken off here. And then I remember Ron Moore had said, I think you should drop the Belfast, Nathan, because it's growing at such a rate. So I dropped the Belfast. So thank you, Ron. Yeah.
Dim only.
Yeah. And those were some of the people who said, yeah, drop the Belfast. And it continued to grow and grow and grow. And then, yeah, it's just obviously taken off to a different place now. Never thought I'd be here. Never thought this is where life would take me. But yeah, how strange and how random. But yeah, lucky.
No, I know. And you do say, look, but like before you were working away in your job when you were doing this, what did you work at? Like, what was your job?
So I went through uni and done a degree in business management, and then went in as a graduate into BT, or British Telecom, and went around different roles. I was in management jobs, transformation jobs. I was a CIO. Loved my job, and even until my second cookbook was published and I was on this morning, I was still doing that job because I loved it. And it came to the point where family and friends said, Nathan, it's time to pull the plug now. You need to walk away. It's getting unhealthy now, how much you're managing. You're doing 2 jobs. You need to walk away. So very, very different degree, graduate. Then I went and done my master's as well. I'd done my master's whilst I was working full time at Queen's University. So I have been flat out.
You have. What about, like, there'll be people listening that want to leave their job to do something, and they get, and I talk about this all the time with people, the courage to do that. I know obviously you had lots of opportunities coming your way, but it's still a big step to leave that thing you've studied for and all, isn't it? Like,
100%. But I always think if you're passionate about something, like if you pour your heart into it, you can really make it work. Do you know what I mean? Like, you obviously walked away from your shop that you had, and I look like you're all over.
What did you call me before we went live? You're just like who?
I said Lorraine Kelly.
And I said, well, Pamela Ballantyne here apparently, and Lorraine Kelly over there. I'll take both. But I know you're right. People's lives change, and we pivot when we have to. And I certainly did have to, and find a new way. But I think it was calling you with great force to come into this world, and you have absolutely immersed yourself in it, and so likable. I know you, like, personally, but I mean,
yes, I've held a bag for you to be sick into on a boat before. Yes.
I knew he was going to bring this up. Let's give context.
Yeah, you get travel sick, but you had a few wee Prosecco on the boat, and then Caroline said, I feel travel sick. So I was like, I'll hold a plastic bag for you.
No, I'm sorry. I am going to elaborate on that. First of all, big shout out to Buzz Off at Bumble and Bee, who brought us all on an influencer marketing trip, and we couldn't believe our luck. We were on
That was 2022, was it? That's
2022.
Yeah.
So Laura and the team brought us all over, and Nathan and I and a whole team of us to Portugal. And I do get travel sick, Nathan. I cannot go on a boat, and never would after that. But I went on the boat because they wanted to be cool like you know. And I went, and anyway, you guys don't need to know this, but I get very ill on the boat, and you were my knight in shining armor. Jared was there too, like,
yeah.
But he wasn't holding the bag.
I held the bag, yeah. I held your hair and all back too, which is being sick.
This is the inside info on the Dig podcast, but
I
know. But look, it's all memories.
Yeah.
Now we're closer than anyone has ever been to you, because you held my bag a sec. Oh my God, I think we have a picture of that actually too. But anyway, so that was all. Like, everybody's been through so much, I know, but there's been good times and bad times. What about, like, you growing up? Was there any challenges or any kind of things that you had to overcome to get where you are today? Or
Really, I had a very normal upbringing. Mum and dad amazing. Like, I love mum and dad.
Your boys, we don't.
They're amazing.
Oh, your daddy too, sure.
Yeah, Jared knows dad. Mum and dad had me at 16, so in the 90s, having a child at 16, it was really frowned upon. And luckily enough, I thank them to this day. You know, they just said, you know what, we'll just get on with it. And yeah, look at them. Yeah, I love them to bits. They're the most incredible two people. So very normal upbringing, brother, went to St. John the Baptist in Portadown, and just a really normal childhood, you know, big family. Didn't have big elaborate holidays. No, mum and dad, just mum worked in a chemist, dad worked in Denny's at one stage. And just a very, just kind of Irish, typical Northern Irish upbringing. Went to college, went to university, and then here I'm sitting with you. Yeah.
This is the biggest drama so far, the Dig podcast. But it's good to hear that too, because it doesn't always have to be a drama or a challenge, because life can just sometimes work out well. And as you say, your mummy and daddy brought you up well, and they must be so proud of you now when they look at everything you're doing. I'm sure I'm sure they can believe it. You're obviously a character, but I mean, you know, they must just be so proud. It must be a great feeling to see your son achieve so much. So, and whenever they like, what have they said to you when you were going out into the world of work? Did they ever give you good advice, or any good advice from anybody that you've carried with you about how to navigate all of this? Or
Yeah, like definitely when I was growing up, you know, mum and dad would never have just handed stuff to us. You know, like I started working when I was 13, went out on the bike delivering papers, and it was like 15 quid a week. And dad said, right, you're going to open a savings account, you put a fiver in every week. And they eventually gave it back to me, right? But nothing was ever kind of just handed to me. They kind of instilled like a work ethic, you know, if you want something, you know, if you want to buy yourself a pair of diesel jeans up the town, Nathan, that'll be a couple of weeks delivering papers. You go out and work and get them yourself. Obviously, they still give me money and were very good to me.
of course.
But they just instilled, you know, if you want things, you're going to have to work hard. You know, you don't just get things handed to you.
Are breakfast times in your house stressful? I know for me, all I want is something easy, nutritious for the whole family, and limited cleaning up. And that's what you get with the new overnight oats range from Linwood's Health Foods, who are our sponsor of the Dig podcast. This product is amazing. It has energy overnight oats in original flavour. It has energy overnight oats in the strawberry flavour. And it also has protein overnight oats in the chocolate flavour. And the best part is there are so many benefits. It's a gluten-free oat with chia seeds, and it helps with muscle growth, tiredness and fatigue, muscle function, and so much more. All you have to do, add a wee bit of milk the night before, pop it into the fridge, and wake up the next morning to a nutritious meal for the whole family. You can get it in most health food stores, most major supermarkets, and you can also get it online at linwoodshealthfoods.com. And don't forget, we have a discount code DIG20. So if you enter DIG20, you'll get 20% off, delivered straight to your door, and you know your family have a healthy, nutritious meal that sets them up for the day.
Delivering papers at the age of 13, and God love my mum, I remember like on some of the days that it was pissing down outside, mum says, get into the car and I'll bring you around to deliver your papers. My dad says, don't you be bringing him around again. He has to learn that you just have to get up and get out through the door and go to work.
Mums do that.
That's what the way she was. So get into the car. She says, don't you tell your dad I drove you around these houses to deliver the papers. And then went into the shop that the papers were sold from, and worked there. And then had a part-time job whilst I was at university, working 27 hours a week whilst I was doing my degree. And then I've just always worked, you know, and probably sometimes to my detriment, being maybe a bit of a workaholic, unhealthy, having an unhealthy work-life balance at times. So, but I've learned over the years, you have to really take care of yourself and rein that back in terms of your work-life balance and look after number one.
Absolutely. And I suppose from those days of COVID when you were just sharing the recipes online, and for anyone who may watch those, they would not understand the amount of work that goes in to create that one recipe that you do.
100%. Like recipe testing, and you have to test things a few times. And sometimes things go wrong. You know, you might make a recipe and say, nah, don't like it. You know, sometimes we film a recipe and it might be the second time that we've cooked it. And I'm like, I'm not happy with how that looks. We'll just shoot it again.
Or taste.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Like your mac and cheese. Yeah.
You're going to bring it up. This is like, am I getting some roasting here? But let's talk about the mac and cheese, right?
Yeah.
For anybody that watches me on my Dig Mama channel, I'll tell you the context. I made mac and cheese there at the weekend, and well, what did you describe it as? You
I said
commented under my post publicly, by the way.
The sauce was like you could pour. It was like you could lay slabs with it. It was like cement. You're like, it was very stodgy. Too much flour, too much cheese, and you had no seasoning in it. It was just pasta and a big white sauce. But you'll make it again.
No, I'm not allowed to, because the children are traumatized and Jared's traumatized.
But that shows you, you know, in terms of content creation, you know, you probably thought, here, I'm going to make this mac and cheese and I'll put it out and people love it. No.
No, they do. I'm sorry. There's like
You think people are gonna make
130,000
that?
people viewed it at the minute, and they're all laughing at me.
Taking the piss out of you, though.
But yeah, so just to bring it to people who want to make mac and cheese, you give me a few tips there. So just tell me, how can we make our mac and cheese better?
Obviously, breadcrumbs and more cheese on top, a bit of nutmeg and bacon bits or lardons through as well. Even a wee bit of chorizo through it is nice as well. But it's all about the seasoning. Did you even put any garlic in it? No.
I have 3 children sitting waiting on me to feed them. I was just thinking, oh, I'll whip this up here and I'll not use the packet. Anyway, I used too much flour.
The mustard as well. I told you
I
about the
didn't use the
mustard.
mustard.
Wee bit of Dijon mustard.
Basically, mixed pasta with a roux.
Yeah, yes.
With nothing else.
But that's what you made, cement and pasta. Yeah. But that shows you how much hard work goes into food content creation. Is quite hard.
Yeah.
Because things can go wrong. And if you're cooking two or three things at once, you know, so you be, oh, I've left them in the oven or the air fryer, and it's like toast now, do you know what I mean? So there's a lot of time that I can appreciate watching other content creators online, even if I don't relate to their content. If it's, you know, fashion or makeup or something, I'll always say, you know, I'll give them a wee like, because I know how much time and effort they put into making that video. So if I'm scrolling along, I just kind of hit like and kind of show support, because those people have put so much time and effort into creating that video. So there's a lot of hard work goes into social media.
I think people who aren't in the industry wouldn't realise that, and why would they? They're not there. But there's degree courses now coming out on content creation,
Really?
social media. There's one in Carlow, a university in Carlow, that does all around content and digital marketing. But that's a big part of all the modules now, which it wouldn't have been before, because it's hard work.
It is hard work.
Skill.
And I even remember my old kind of job in BT, the CEO at the time said, something like 50% of the jobs that we'll be recruiting for in 5 years' time won't exist today. Do you know what I mean? Because the times just like technology evolves, jobs change, you've AI, you've all these things that are coming in that kind of defunk and kind of some of the old jobs you don't need them anymore, because AI and technology is doing that for you. So yeah, like social media degree. Wow.
Yeah.
I might do it myself, you know.
I swear to God, I was like, I need to sign up to that to brush up on these old skills. But it shows the ways of the world. It dispels the myth to those people that say that this is not a job, this is not a profession. It absolutely is. I
100% is.
fully appreciate the work
is.
that goes in behind. But I think if you're not in that industry, you can easily go, oh, that sure took them whatever. I'd say your recipe could take days to get over the line, as in, a social media video nearly, just to get it together and edited and done.
Shot, edited, voiceover,
captions,
text, all that, yeah. There's a lot of work goes into it, and if we're working with the brand, you know, we would kind of set one day aside just to do one video for some of the brands that we work with as well. You know, some of the brands that I love, I would never work with a brand that I don't love, but there's a brand, obviously everyone knows I work with Ninja.
That's right.
So like we're filming tomorrow, and we have a whole day just for one video, just to really nail it. So
what's the crack with Ninja now? Where does Ninja come from? Is there like who owns Ninja? Is it
I don't know the owner, Caroline. Like,
all right, okay. Well, I wanted him on the podcast, or her.
Ask me who owns Tesco's. I think it's a big
worldwide.
Yeah, it's worldwide. It's a huge company.
So many products, don't they?
Their products are incredible. I've always used them. You know, I used them obviously when I started social media, and it's now a brand that I work really closely with. My team's over in London with them again next week. And it's mad going over, because you're in this huge big London office, and you see, you know, the billboards and some of the other people that they have as brand ambassadors. Like you've David Beckham, and you know, you've Cheryl Cole. I don't even know if she's called Cole anymore, but Cheryl from.
I know
I know, but I don't know if she's still Cheryl.
Cheryl.
Yeah. You see some of the brand ambassadors that they have, and it's just like, how's a wee lad from Portadown ended up over here working with these people? Do you know what I mean? So,
so can I ask you about that? Because my team's trying to teach me that people are just people, and that you need to learn to believe that you deserve your place there as much as anyone else. I crumble when I meet celebrities. How do you be? I can't cope. Like I lose my voice and start saying a load of gibberish for them. So are you okay with all
people? Just, do you know what I mean? They all do the same things that you do. Do you know what I mean? They're just normal people. I think that for a while I was like, oh, I'm meeting all these class people, like, you know, I wonder what they're like. But then you get to work alongside them, and they're just like everybody else. You know, I wouldn't treat them any different. I wouldn't, you know,
glorify them.
I wouldn't get down and say, oh, do you want this? I would just say, I would chat to them like I'm chatting to you. You know, they have families, they have troubles, they have kids as well. You know, they have challenges that they face in life every day. So I just see everybody for what they are, and treat them the way, you know, you treat everybody else. You know, they're no different. It's just, this is their job. You know, so and they're living a different life. But just like me and you know.
I bottled it so many times. I need you to coach me. I got an opportunity to like talk to Russell Crowe and Ronan Keating and all, and I like absolutely lost it, and then didn't get my opportunity.
I think if you have nerves, it shows that you care. Do you know what I mean? Like the first time that I done this morning, like that was for, like I had done TV up until that stage, and I remember when I got the call to go on, and it was a couple of years ago. That was with Holly Willoughby and Philip at the time,
Yeah.
and I mean I was so nervous. Like honestly, I went over to London and phoned my dad. I was like, I don't think I can go on here tomorrow, and I went on the next day. I was wearing like a orangey kind of polo top and a pair of cream trousers, and I had the runs, and I says, imagine I shit myself on live TV, because I was so nervous. Do you know what I mean? Like honestly, like, but that it shows that you care. Do you know what I mean? But thankfully, I didn't shit myself on live TV. But yeah, that's and like
Not them cream trousers.
no. It was like a pair of cream chinos. But yeah, you know, and I think if you have nerves, it shows that you care. We're all people at the end of the day, and we all have challenges. We all get nerves, and yeah, I definitely get nervous with the TV. The first time I done the TV in the South, I knew when you see chefs holding on to the counter, I wasn't holding on because that's how they hold on. I hold on because I thought I was going to hit the deck. I was holding on for dear life, and they're like, 5, 4, yeah. So
I was so it happens to the best of us then.
yeah.
What
So you should go and interview Russell Crowe and
Yeah, Russell.
yeah,
Let me
give him a phone call.
Oh no, I think that ship has sailed. But anyway, I'm trying to learn how to get better. As you say, it's only people, and we're all got the highs and lows and ups and downs. And now you're with those people. So talk to us about this morning. What a production that is. What strong, larger than life characters there are there. You're fitting right in. They love you there, and rightly so. Talk to us about the dynamics of working there. Is it great, or what's going on? Is it crack great? Look good?
It's great, yeah. You have so many people that look after you when you go on there. They're an amazing team. You have producers, you have runners off camera, you're brought over the night before you do the show, and you get a brief and a run through of the timings and things like that. And then you get in, you get your coffee, and they look after you, have breakfast, and you do get your makeup done because you're going on because the lighting like this. You're obviously
well, I'd love to know when my team's going to sweep in to do my makeup, but anyway, keep going. That's the dream.
And then you meet the food team, because I only have 7 minutes to make a dish, so I don't have time to be chopping onions and doing everything. So there's an incredible team in the kitchen that do all the hard work that, you know, deserve a lot more credit, because I'm just going on, I'm talking through a dish. They work so hard behind the scenes to bring that slot to life. So it's an incredible team. And
any key characters there that are the best?
They're all, like the presenters are all, you know, great crack, like Kat Daly and Alison Hammond and Dermot O'Leary. Like they're all so lovely.
Take the time today to invest in yourself and your career. The Centre of Learning empowers women with confidence, skills and support to reach their full potential. From Northern Ireland's longest running mentoring programme to workshops on leadership, management and work-life balance. With more than 20 unique programmes running multiple times each year, it's a supportive community where like-minded women develop together. The Centre of Learning also delivers allyship training to build an inclusive society where everybody thrives to learn, connect and grow. All you have to do is search womeninbusinessni.com and then search Centre of Learning. You can enter DIG20 and get 20% off all programmes which are booked before Thursday, the 4th of December 2025.
And they've all been so supportive of me, because coming from Northern Ireland as a home cook and going on national television, like, you know, they've really looked after me. And it is nerve-wracking, and, you know, you're plucked from, I would have said kind of, not obscurity, but, you know, you're plucked from kind of just like your normal life and going on national TV, and they just really kind of wrap their arms around me.
It's great to hear, you know, that, you know, and that laugh at Alison's like it's just, she's just unreal. Like you're like, that's how you really laugh.
People's people as well. You know, like, I went on with one of the slots that I went on, because you do, when I have a book out, they give me a lovely slot and we go on and we cook a recipe from it. And Alison Hammond says, let's go on, and says, let's see how many books we can sell. You know what I mean? And she's just like, you know what I mean? They're just really lovely people. And I kind of pinch myself when I get to go on and kind of work with those people. So it is a dream team. They're lovely.
Unreal. I can't believe she said that. That's dead. Like that shows that she really is does really care.
Lovely. And they're all huggy and ask the crack, and they spend time with you off camera. And back
I'd say you give them some stories. I would say
yeah, honestly.
Why that's coming over and shaking the whole thing up.
Rylan was another one. Did you ever see Niall
Well,
Rylan?
he's so nice.
Such
Well,
a
he seems
laugh.
so nice. Hear me, like he seems so nice.
And I said, I'm going to wind him up on the camera. And we made like a flatbread. And I says, now don't you break your teeth on them flatbreads. But I know the way because his teeth's done. And he says, I knew you were going to sit. They're good crack. You have a bit of fun.
And where do you get that confidence to just throw that type of comment? Would you not be worried like that? I mean, that way might be. You know,
I
you
think
just
it's a nervous thing. I think it's sometimes like I'm nervous. Let's make people laugh because it'll get the limelight off me, so it'll throw it over to the presenters for a minute. So I think it's like a nervous thing.
and a risky thing too. Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
depends what
imagine he had to turn around and said, "Are you slagging off my teeth?"
I think you kind
Can
of
read
you
people.
read the room and you see, this person's good crack and they're up for a laugh,
And he's got a great set of teeth.
a bit of banter, but they're not real. Yeah,
I
you won't
know.
find me saying that.
Well, look, we're living in a world where who's are real these days. So he's very engaging to watch as well. I find him quite endearing to, and it's nice to hear he's real behind the scenes too. Talk to us about the books now. So tell me what all of these are.
Yeah, so the first book published in January 2023, and it's just gone on and on and on.
So is it
yeah.
what's it
The
focusing
first
on?
one,
Each
the first one was Healthy Slow Cooker. It was just a recipe book all about slow cooker recipes, calorie counted, making meals really affordable for people. Second book was just an air fryer book, and then the third one was 30-minute meals, and then the next one was even easier, so making slow cooker meals even easier. So having recipes that only involve 5 minutes prep time. The last book that was out last year was called 6 Ingredient Slow Cooker, where you just throw 6 ingredients into a pot and then go about your day. And then the one that's out in October is Healthy Fakeaway. So we're really racking them up here, aren't we?
I'm like, what's coming next? Where are we going with this? Like, what else could we do?
I'm very lucky, it's class to see something like that and go into shops and just I'm so grateful that people have bought the book and supported me, especially people from home. If it wasn't for
I had 3 of them.
Yeah.
The first
Well, there's 6, Caroline.
I know. Well, like maybe you'll leave us a lock.
We'll sort you out.
But they are brilliant, and I think they're very family focused, which is what I like. Like I'm cooking for 5 people, and then my dad rocks in when he's feeding the cows, and he wants
Loves
to
his
feed.
buds and onions.
Loves buds and onions, a big bit of butter. But he's looking a bit. And I love to cook for my family, and I love that feeling of setting down a lovely meal, and that's what yours definitely do. They're very easy, and none of these big ingredients that I'm not able to get up in Cook Island. So I love that about them, and I can see why they're so popular. Whenever you were doing all of that, and you weren't a chef, a trained cook, did you ever feel like, who am I to release all of these? People talk about that. I don't even really like to call it imposter syndrome because someone said to me, that's not something you can go to the doctor and get a cure for, so it's not an actual diagnosis. So what is it? So did you ever feel like that? And what have you been doing around that?
I definitely felt very insecure and had elements of imposter syndrome. Who am I, a home cook from Portadown, to be writing cookbooks and telling people here's things that you should make for your dinner, and going on kind of TV and going to events with the BBC, and you see all these professional chefs who's so decorated, they've done so many years working in restaurants, and I'd never worked in a restaurant. I just felt a bit of a spoof for us. Like, these people think I'm taking the mick here, writing cookbooks, but I genuinely love food, and I always wanted to write recipes that would be, you don't want to go out and buy really specific ingredients and make, a lot of the times when you're reading a cookbook, like I don't even know what that ingredient is. And I just wanted to simplify it, and it just worked. And I obviously took time out. I said, everybody that I work with, I'm taking 3 months out to go and live on a farm. And they're like, don't come back and change the way you cook, because people love you for not using complex ingredients or making them very expensive. And I've come back and I haven't changed the way I cook, but it was more the confidence thing for me to say, you know what, I'm standing alongside all of these kind of professional chefs that work in restaurants. And I can kind of say, I can hold my own, and I can say, I know how to make what you're making, and I've knowledge. Now, I've never worked in a restaurant, obviously, but I trained for 3 months living on a farm. So
tell us about that farm. I'm obsessed with that place.
Bangalow.
Oh my God, I love it. I just love watching. Someday
incredible.
they'll teach me how to do mac and cheese the right way down there.
I'll teach you. I'll come down to Cook Island and say, right, Caroline.
No, you're not as good as Ballymaloo. I want to go there. Tell us about that place, because that's a special place. Someday I hope to be able to visit it, but tell us about it.
You're in the middle of nowhere. Like it's so rural. There's the nearest shop is maybe 20 minutes away. So if you want eggs, there's hens laying eggs. The milk, you get up in the morning and you go and milk the cows. If you're using butter for your cakes, you have to make your butter. You have to separate your cream and everything else. You have to go out and get all that lovely produce from the farm. If you're making a salad, you have to go out and forage your herbs, your salad leaves. You know, it was such a different way of living to, you know, spending time in London and having a very fast paced life to living in, I wouldn't say in the middle of nowhere, it's just like, it's just so rural. You can't do those things. And I didn't really spend much time on my phone. Like everyone was saying, you know, we want to see more, put up more content of the farm. And I just said, I'm just so immersed in it. Like, I'm just loving it so much. Baking cakes and things that I would never really have made. You know, I'm more of a savoury cook than a baker. Well, would you be more
I'm
savoury?
savoury.
Are you?
Now, come on, you know I am. I'm like all about the spices and
Yeah.
the curries and all of that.
Caroline's in open the cupboard and say, let's throw everything into this.
Is this just slag Caroline up? Like,
But it works though. It does
I
work.
just fire it all in.
Yeah.
And people write to me, how much vegetable stock did you
You
put
don't-
on? I'm like, I have no idea.
But I measure with my eyes as well.
Yeah,
So I like, if I'm making something, I'd say, do you know what? I think a wee bit of Cajun seasoning in there would be lovely. And even when we were filming, you know, Cara would say, right, get a teaspoon. I'm like, I don't really use a teaspoon. I just give it a dust and do.
And hope it doesn't all go in.
Eyeball it. Hopefully the lid doesn't fall off. I just eyeball it.
do.
Do you know what I mean? And I think that's how a real home cook works. You know, they just go with their gut, and it always works. It always, yeah.
Awesome.
Most of the time, yeah.
But so Ballymaloo, you definitely recommend it for any of those aspiring cooks, or even that switch off time, and if they love food. Like, there's just so many reasons why people might go there, but
just to live on a farm, and even just to take a break from, you know, a busy life, or if you want to take a sabbatical, and the people down there are lovely. You know, Rachel Allen and the Roy O'Connell and the chefs that I worked alongside and who taught me, they're the nicest people. They're so lovely. And it was such a life-changing experience that I'll never forget.
oh no, definitely. I was watching. I was so proud of you for going and doing that, because I knew probably the reasons why you were doing that, and then you confirmed it when we talked. But also just then the show. I know you didn't show us enough, and rightly so. You were immersing yourself in it, but it's a very special place and deadly to see you there. So we're thinking a cake book for the next maybe.
Yeah, I don't know about
I don't want to
that.
spoil it.
No.
And I've written here about you know, advice to other people who are maybe sharing content online, particularly in the food industry, because it has taken off online. People respond so much with their eyes and their taste buds, and also food is definitely a big thing on social
You eat with
media.
your eyes.
You do, like.
Yeah.
So any advice to aspiring content creators in that field about
In food, like, yeah.
yeah.
I think just kind of cook how you cook. You know, I wouldn't say go on social media and say I'm just going to replicate their content, or I'm going to replicate how they're doing it. You have to just do it the way you think feels natural to you, and keep your page very, very authentic. You know, if you go on, obviously, Jim's page, you're going to expect barbecue content. If you
That's only slagging
yeah,
for people who don't know.
but I don't call it. I call him Jim. We Jim. And if you come on my page, you're going to expect, you know, air fryer, slow cooker, one pot, or meal prep, or things that have a calorie element.
If you go on my page, go on, hit me with it. What do you get? Go on, give me your critique.
Yeah. No, I've given you my critique. Yeah.
I have loads of times. But yeah, I know what you mean. You have to be authentic to what
Yourself.
you cook, and then you'll
Yeah.
stand out.
And stay in one lane. You know, don't have your page as a free for all. You know, like, don't go from fashion to food to this. I think kind of just for food creators. You know, if you want to do food,
Yeah.
stick to food. But just cook what you feels natural to you. Don't force it or try and find content online that you just want to replicate. It has to feel natural. And you know, when I sat board of lunch up, I had absolutely no intention for it to become anything. I just said, "Do you know what? We're in lockdown here. I'm working from home. I can't go to the cinema. I can't even see people outside. So I'm just going to upload what I'm eating every day." No intention whatsoever. It was just like an outlet and to make me accountable to cook more at home as well. Even though it's just like, right, I'm going to be very healthy and meal prep. And then I just said, right, I'll just do board of lunch and just say, right, here's a couple of recipes. But it was organic. I never set it up with the intention for it to become anything, and it's changed my life. And I count my blessings every day that I made that decision to set up a social media account. Very lucky, and but hard work as well, as you say as
It
well.
has changed your life. Like, you have a beautiful new home now, and you're traveling all over, and you have a team of people around you. But you still turned up to the Dig podcast, so you're still living.
I'll never forget. You know, don't forget where you come from. Do you know what I mean? I'll never ever change. Do you know what I mean? I'm still the same boy from Portadown. You know, still go down and see my mum and dad. You know, love going down there, and I love being in Portadown because it's at home. I don't live there, obviously, but I say that obviously Portadown's the best place in Northern Ireland. Well, but no, I'll never change. Do you know what I mean?
Never forget them days when your ma brought you around the houses when kept you out of the rain.
Yeah, no. But
They make you the man you are. What about some quick fire questions?
hit me.
Will you be ready for them? What's your ultimate guilty pleasure meal? Because you cook so much. I'm like, I wonder what Nathan really loves. What's the guilty pleasure?
This is going to be really random, right? But like, it's not a meal. My guilty pleasure is a packet of cheese and onion discos.
Discos? Does it still exist?
Cheese and onion discos, like that powdery cheese and onion flavour, like they're a great crisp, aren't they?
Oh, I haven't had them in years. I
What
didn't
about-
even know if they were still about. Or
Yeah, that's my like.
right.
But do you mean like an actual meal?
I will give us the meal too now. I need the meal.
Prawn pills, so like sizzling prawns.
I had that last night
Did you?
in Hendrix and Stranmillis.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you made it.
No, I did.
Yeah.
But we were
You
filming.
got it well.
Oh, well, that's not too bad. Have you got that in any of your big prawn?
Oh yes, it's in the green one. That's the air fryer bricks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I love that. That's definitely one that I love too. If you had to choose one, air fryer or slow cooker, which would it be?
Air fryer. Yeah, I think it's quicker, and you know, if you haven't been prepared or haven't been organized, you can quickly rustle up something in the air fryer. And everybody loves them. You can dehydrate stuff in them. You can batch prep and meal prep. I think they're one of the best pieces of kit that you can have in your
I don't
house.
think I utilise mine right when you say that dehydrate thing. I'm like, what
If
the
you
hell's
fruit
that?
if you fruit that's going off, put it on the dehydrate setting, and then you've toppings for your porridge. You've stuff to put in your cocktails or your gin. So rather than you throw it out, well, you wouldn't throw anything out. You're quite savvy. You make
Yeah.
ice cubes out of soup.
I need a book. I need a flipping book. I do make ice cubes out of soup. Yes. And
I've never seen that before. But you call them stock cubes, but they're basically cubes of soup. But yeah, you're very good. You don't waste anything. But yeah, if you have fruit that's going off, dehydrate them and put them into your porridge.
Jared's gonna love this. He's gonna be like, what are we eating this morning?
You'll have to put it on social media. You
Nathan-
dehydrating your fruits. Yeah.
Nathan said this is a good idea. Very good. I don't think I use the features fully. I really should. Who would be your dream dinner guest, dead or alive?
Miriam Margolyes. Do you know who she is?
No.
She was in Harry Potter, so she was oh, I can't remember her name in Harry Potter. Looking just up. What was her name in Harry Potter?
Don't know.
Uh,
I'll Googling. The
Prof-
team's Googling here.
Professor. Oh, I don't know, but
Right,
she looked
that's-
after her. She's a plant woman, professor of something. She looked
Okay.
after herbology. Oh, Professor Sprout. Yeah,
Okay,
Professor
okay.
Sprout.
Right.
But she is a presenter. She's an actor. She's an author. But she is one of the funniest people. If if I showed you a photo of her,
Maybe.
you'd recognize her.
Okay.
She's on this morning. She's on Graham Norton. She'd be on interviewing, and she'll just fart on TV. Like Holly Willoughby was interviewing one day, and she's like,
Oh, I know her. There's
Yeah.
was she not the Grat Bags witch woman? No, in years gone by. Anyway, I do know her.
and she
Of course
just
I know
turned to the
her.
camera and says, "I'm really sorry, I've just farted."
She's
On like,
she's our kind of woman. Yes. Yes.
just-
I do know her.
She's just so funny. I just love people that just
and
don't care and just say, "Do you know what?"
she says what she thinks. That
She
woman
really
ain't
does.
Her on
And she has her political opinions, and she's very, very forthcoming with them as well. I just think she's such a funny character. Like,
oh, she'd say
Even
even
if
she
you
makes
had-
you be so embarrassed, and you're
I
not even
know.
there. You're like, oh, I can't believe she did that.
yeah, I know, farting on live TV. She done it on Graham Norton as well. She's on there. And I'm not saying that's why I would have her over. I wouldn't want her sitting
Well,
fart at my table, like, but like,
If
you
she's
know,
coming for dinner, don't forget the dig team.
Yeah.
We'll be there to capture it all on social media. What's the one recipe you could cook with your eyes closed?
honey chili chicken. It's just my go-to takeaway. I make it probably every week. Lovely sticky honey chili sauce, bit of chicken, crispy chicken, rice. Just my number one go-to, and it just saves you money and saves you time. I can make it quicker than delivery can get to the house.
Can I ask you about chicken? I know this isn't, and we didn't prep this or nothing, but sure, it's always better when you don't prep. Chicken, I find hard to get right. I find chicken can be so tough sometimes. Like, what's the best way to cook chicken in your opinion?
On a lower heat, do you put I think from you
Don't start throwing at me what I do with my chicken. Now you do
just
know
on a gentle heat. You know,
Okay.
if you heat it up, you know, really fast and it's on a roaring
it can
heat,
go tough.
it's going to go really tough. It's going to, the meat will seize and it'll get really tough. So I always
So
find
what about when you see people saying, fry off your chicken first for a few minutes and brown it, set it
I put it on
aside?
a gentle
Is that
heat.
not going to be tough?
No, like
No.
no, because then you're going to put it back into your sauce. So like cook your meat, take it off your pan, do whatever you have to do, and then put it back into your sauce. But you seem to add your chicken into your curry. I've seen
Raw.
aye.
And
Now,
it traumatizes people, but it be the most succulent because you're
Aye.
poaching it in the
and it
sauce.
completely falls apart.
Yeah, but
That's
people think they're going to die when they do that because they're going to get food
It's-
poisoning. But
no,
it's
no.
a thing. Poaching is good.
Poaching is thing. Poaching chicken and fish is a massive thing. I would poach fish, as well, which is lovely.
But throwing it into your Mayflower curry sauce can be controversial.
I don't think so.
No,
I
good.
think it's quite nice. No,
I like it too.
just don't put it onto a
So low
right.
heat is the
nice,
best.
slow and slow. Yeah.
Right, Mary, you taking note of that too? Because me and Mary talk about this all the time. Mary and the team, chicken can be so tough, so low. Maybe I'm trying to get it on the
You should
table
use
so
your slow
quickly.
cooker more.
Okay, yeah.
Well, and you quick flash your flash frying, and then it needs to spend a wee bit of time in the sauce to kind of
You
soften.
tell my three
Yeah.
hungry mouths at the table, we're just going to do it in the
Mummy's
slow
making mac and cheese tonight.
with some slow cooker chicken. It'll be ready tomorrow. So anyway, that's interesting. I'm maybe going to try to do that. I'm maybe trying to do it too fast. Okay, good tip. If you weren't cooking, what would we find you doing on a lazy Sunday in your beautiful new home?
I'm quite boring. Do you know, I actually am. I would be going to the gym, maybe go for a nice run along the water, go for a wee jacuzzi, make a nice Sunday dinner, text my mum and dad to come down the road, said, "Do you want to come down for Sunday dinner?" Of course, if I said to my mum, "You coming for dinner?" she'd be in the car and all. She wouldn't even get ready. She'd just jump in. "I come for dinner, no ball."
Of course.
But yeah, just
Yeah,
like
so
a
just
really chill,
normal.
just a normal, you know, a run, maybe go to the jacuzzi in the pool, very chill. I could be hungover.
In your house?
I
You got a
could,
jacuzzi and pool in your house?
I have the gym. I go to the gym.
Okay.
But yeah, I think just I might be hungover. I might have been in. I love socializing as well, like everybody else. You know, I might be a wee bit delicate from the night before. But if I haven't been out, it's a slow Sunday. We Sunday dinner, we gym, we jacuzzi, and yeah, maybe plan for the week.
Sounds like heaven. Yes, Daphne, you're just normal like the rest of us. Go to midnight snack.
I don't really eat midnight snacks. It's not my thing. Like, see, like I wouldn't really be a fridge picker like at night. Are you a fridge picker?
Not.
Like at
I
night?
don't have time to blink, never mind go to the fridge and see what's in it. No. But I know loads of people like they love a wee late night thing, and I was wondering, is that something that you do?
No, maybe like a wee tiny nibble of chocolate, like, but that would be.
I like a good Ripple bar and a cup of tea and Netflix, but that's
You love a good little haul as well. You love shit, yeah.
lovely. Big shout out to Lidl. If you're listening, Lidl, actually. How do you pronounce it?
I call it little.
It's Lidl because the team have told me.
Okay.
We must work on our pronunciation up here.
Oh,
But-
so it's like Primark and Primark.
It is
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
but it's actually Lidl because they've told me. So yeah, it's Lidl. So just to clear that up for anybody who's listening, Lidl team will be proud. What's one ingredient you couldn't live without?
Mayonnaise.
Oh,
Yeah. I love like it's just something you can really grab and, you know, put it in like a nice wrap and have a high protein wrap with a bit of, you know, tuna sweet corn. I just like, would you not use mayo that
I
much?
love mayo. Just wasn't.
Do you ever make
thinking-
your own mayo?
No,
No.
no. I do think I had time to make my own mayonnaise. No, I do not. I like Hellman's mayonnaise, but I thought maybe you were going to say something more exotic right
What like?
here.
What like? What did you think I was saying?
Like. I thought you were going to say
Pistachios or
spice or you know,
Cajun seasoning.
and you
Well, it's
mentioned
like
garlic too earlier.
I love
like,
garlic. If a recipe says add 1 garlic clove, I add 5.
yeah, yes.
Cajun seasoning as well. It's a blend of spices, so you
Yeah.
can never go wrong.
Smoked paprika.
And my
either
wife
one I
does
would.
know a wee bit of sriracha and lime seasoning from my new spice range that's coming into shops.
Sorry, what?
soon. I have a wee air fryer spice range hitting into the shop, so
No, don't
sriracha and lime's very, very nice.
don't
so
just skate over that like
Yeah.
as if that's not big news. What do you mean? Tell us.
I've a wee spice range, so a board of lunch air fryer spice range. So you should see it in shops. Yeah, soon.
Well, now that's going to
I
be
don't know when
great.
that episode goes out, obviously, but if you go into your local shops, you might see a wee board of lunch air fryer seasoning. So
We're bad online. Are we going to be able to buy it
you can buy it
online?
on, you can buy it on Amazon or TikTok shop as well. You can go into TikTok shop. Yeah, there you go.
You're gonna,
I'll send you.
You're going to be doing
yeah.
12-hour lives cooking, like, buy my spices. I can see it
Or
coming.
like the Be Perfect or the Voodoo
The Voodoo.
podcast, they do 12-hour lives. I'll cook for 12 hours. Yeah,
I can see it.
you can. Oh, we can make
There
mac
we
and cheese.
go. We're
We can make a mac and cheese together.
bit of smoked paprika, bit of the thing. So is this the next kind of move on and how? Because it makes sense though, because we have the book stall now, but now we need the product of yours to kind of pimp our things up and all. So I love that because I love spices. So what's the one you said? Sriracha.
Sriracha and lime. You also have chicken salt as well. So chicken salt is a big thing in Australia. It's kind of like a salty kind of chicken stock seasoning. Do you know, like a lovely chicken brothy flavour?
Yes.
It's a big thing in Australia. That's the thing about when I was in Ballymaloe, we had Australians there, and they all like, oh, chicken salt. I'm like, yeah. They're like, it's not a thing over here.
No.
So when you ever try chicken salt, what do you say? Change your life.
Right. And is
Put
it
it on your
all,
chips. Put it on your chicken. It's great.
is it all like
It's all air fryer seasonings.
okay, but healthy in a way, like no additives or things like
Yes,
that? Like
no.
all really, I like to use things for.
I'll
good
send you a
fat.
list of the ingredients. Yeah. I'll give
Send me a lot of the spices, you miserable person.
Okay, miserable. She makes soup, stock pots, soup, spring
I'll
and ice
send you the
cream, soup.
ingredients. I want the flippin' spices. Oh my God, that's so exciting because that's like commercially, I'm thinking as well for your business and all too, to be able to move from that to actual actionable ingredients to put in. Like the world is your oyster in that way.
But I
Like,
think I wanted to create spices that were, rather than people buy a million different spices, and I've seen your spice drawer, you've every spice under the
I
sun.
do, I,
This is spices that combines a few, so it kind of
yeah,
does a little bit of heavy lifting when it comes to flavor.
yeah.
So yeah, and they're really punchy and lovely flavors. So I'll send you them, put them into your something.
If it's not too much bother, like, or put me a lack in the post. But I think that's unbelievable, and it's what families need. As you say, I have loads, and I'm like, put a bit of smoked paprika, put a bit of this, but if there's one that combines them all, I'm all for it. So, because we're all about convenience and all that for our families. So, congratulations on that, just dropping
Thank
that in
you.
at the end,
Yeah.
like as if it's no big deal. I know we have a lot of
Shameless plug.
you knew what you were at, you knew what you were at, but that's brilliant. I'm so proud of you actually for that, because brilliant. Biggest kitchen fail you've ever had? Come on, don't say it's all perfect. Like, what's happened?
No. Do you remember, I don't know if it was a year or 2 years ago, but Curry's, the retailer, the electronics
Yes,
retailer,
yes.
they were trying to sell air fryers. And they put up this video of them making a pancake stack in the air fryer. And they made a pancake batter, and they put a bit of greaseproof paper down, and then a layer of batter, and then a layer of paper, a layer of batter. And then they opened the air fryer, and there was a stack of pancakes, but like the paper was still through them. So I thought, a new thing, realized, like, there's no way this is going to work. It can't work. And I made it, and it was just pancake soup all over the air fryer. I don't even know why I bothered trying it, because I knew it wouldn't work.
So how did it
So
work for them? Didn't-
they just done it to go viral. Yeah.
No, that's not okay, because then creators like us spend hours trying to recreate it.
I know. But yeah, I tried that, and that
Okay.
was a disaster.
Don't do that.
They were using that maybe to sell. No, that it was all clickbaity to get you to
Mhm.
buy an air fryer,
Mhm.
but it didn't work. So if Curry's is listening and you see that video, it didn't work.
Yeah,
So
don't try it.
don't try and make a pancake stack in the air fryer. It
I
doesn't
know.
work.
And I just
You
thought,
would though. You'd try anything.
oh no, I'd look at that and think, nah, I don't have time for that there, carry on. But no, let you do the mistake and I can learn from it. But that's all my quick fire questions. But I just wanted to, for people who don't know, there's a wee piece of work that me and you did before that is why do we do all of this if we can't help other people? So I'm actually getting shivers because it was all around slow cookers and for people who were perhaps homeless or had no home. And we, through Dig Deep for Kids, were trying to support the Simon community. And I reached out to you and said, Nathan, here, we want to kit out apartments and houses for people that have nothing and that are in our society and need to be rehoused for lots of different reasons that people wouldn't even think of reasons, like professionals being losing their jobs, not being able to get housed. Simon Community asked Dig Deep for Kids for help, and I reached out to you and said, any chance you could help me with the utensils side of things for kitting out people's apartments? And you went and got me, I don't know how many slow cookers for everybody that needed them in these apartments. And it's things like that that I remember, but also that makes an impact for people who have nothing and people who have had things and now have nothing, or people who have never had enough to survive. So your work is also helping so many people as well. And I'd be forever grateful for you helping me in that way. And you've helped me loads of times throughout Dig Deep for Kids. So
Yeah. No, charity's such a big thing. I suppose, obviously, I'm a guest, but for you, Carl, I'm watching from the side. You do an incredible job with charity, and we obviously do some as well. But I think, you deserve a pat on the back, because you do so much for
well,
charity.
I,
And
I never really set out to do that apart from a bit like all of us here. If you see somebody that has, it breaks my heart. And we can't help everybody. Like George will say to me every Christmas, like, seriously, you're not Mother Teresa. You can't flip and help everybody. But
yeah,
if you can, why wouldn't you? And I can. But I couldn't do it if I didn't have good people around me. Like I reach out to you and you go, no bother, I can't come to this, but I'm going to get you this. And you do your best. Same as every influencer, every business that works so hard. I'm talking about Dig Deep for Kids, but people do charity work all the time. They don't hear about it. And I'm not bumming and blowing about Dig Deep for Kids because you don't, but it's actually, I use the platform to do that. So I have to talk about
you
it.
have to use your platform for good as
Aye.
well. Like, charity's so important, and like, I'm very lucky that I have my health and I have everything, and that I think your health is the main thing. But we recently done a bit of charity, and we went into the children's hospital, and you
That's
just
right,
walk
Little
around.
Heroes.
Yeah,
Sorry,
little
talk about
heroes.
that.
Yeah.
So
We went in, and you just you see the children obviously here going through a horrendous time, but it's a ripple effect. The families around them who are, they're looking after a sick kid. They've had to take time off work. One's had to leave their job. They might be struggling financially because they've had to take time off work to look after their kid. And it just, like, charity's so important. And when you see what people go through, it really it breaks your heart. And I try and do as much charity work as possible. And you particularly, like, you're the charity queen. You do a lot every year. So
Little Heroes, I watched your campaign and I see their fundraising. We'll put the link in the show notes if anybody wants to get involved, because
Yeah.
you never know the day when your child might need those services. And even if your child never does, what about all the ones that do need it now? And if we can help, like 5 or 10 or when I seen your thing come up, I went on and donated and shared. I think even if people can't donate, they don't underestimate the like of maybe sharing that, telling somebody about it. I think there's so much power in people sharing that message, and hopefully Little Heroes does amazing and they get all the equipment that they need.
Hopefully they do.
I know.
Like,
Someone said to me recently, it's terrible that we have to do this. The government should be stepping up and helping where they can, and hopefully they do, and our MLAs and all are listening. But when that's not in place, let's do what we can.
absolutely.
So thank you for all that you do, for always supporting me, and also all the work that you're doing with Little Heroes. Just threw that in at the end. Wasn't even planning to talk about that. But anyway, I have to throw these notes away. Who needs notes? Who needs notes? I just want to thank you for being my guest today. You are some man. We are so proud of
Thank
you.
you for having me on.
Deadly. I watch it on TV. I'm like, I know him. I know him. And Jared's like, forget you know him too. Sure, I was away in Portugal with him.
He held your hair back when you both.
So we're all so proud of you and everything that you're doing. The launch of the spice range is so exciting, and I know I was messing around with you there, but I mean, it is brilliant that you're doing that. Can't wait to see it in the shops, and we're going to link everything in the show notes. So we'll get it from your team. Cara's in the background here. She's going to help us kind of get all the right links and everything set up, and where would we be without our teams as well, right?
Absolutely, as well. But the charity links, get them in too, you know.
Of course, Little Heroes
get
does
them
that,
in.
and,
Little Heroes
and get that in. Thank you for being my guest, and you'll come back again then.
I will,
Spice range goes global.
No, it's not. We'll be able to put, you know, we'll have
No doubt you'll have them all.
We'll have more books. We'll have more spaces. We'll fill that shelf.
Oh dear, we cook along and all.
For 12 hours, aye.
12-hour cook along coming soon. For those who are watching, thank you for being on the Dig
Thank
Podcast.
you for having me on.
And thank you to you, the Dig Podcast listener. That was some crack. Sometimes I don't even have these things planned that we're going to talk about. So hopefully you enjoyed it. And don't try the mac and cheese at home if you're watching. And thank you for being my guest. And don't forget, if you hit that subscribe button, then you can be notified when guests like Nathan go live. You don't want to miss anything. If you're on YouTube, hit subscribe. And then also on Apple and Spotify, hit that follow button. And I'll see you next time on the Dig Podcast.